Yeah, just outline to us how it's going to work this week in terms of your input, albeit virtually.
Do you know, James, it's not going to be too bad. Obviously, it's frustrating, particularly given the sort of circumstances around it. But at the same time, rules are rules. So, you know, we understand, mate, and we've got to abide by the rules, however sort of frustrating they are at times, and sometimes probably don't make that much sense. But regardless of that, obviously, when I knew I was going to get stood down last Monday, I think it was. Obviously, myself and Jones have got stood down too, so we knew we needed a hand for James Webster. It would be a lot for him to get through 4 sessions on his own for this. So obviously, with Sean coming in next year, I called Sean up and come off the hour, come off the man. He got his kit straight on and we're good to go. And you know, he was pumped and buzzing to come in, and we were buzzing to get him here too. So no, all good on that front, mate. So between the pair of them, we feel we've got two very smart and experienced coaches. Both the coaches obviously know me really well. James has been there all year. Sean played a part for us at the start of the year. He did probably 4 or 5 sessions with us. So he's familiar with the players. He's familiar with our style of play and our principles. He played a big part in helping us sort of tinker with them at the start of the year, James, too. You know, and I've said before, he's a very, very smart rugby league brain, one of the best sort of brains. So he's continuously watched us through the year and been there to offer opinion and advice to myself. So it's not like someone coming in that's got no knowledge of what's going on. You know, he's really familiar with where we're at. So we spoke to those two guys at the weekend, compiled our previews by Sunday night. Obviously emailed those over to James. James and Sean met at a hotel Sunday night to go through the week and the video that I'd sort of given over to James. Obviously their input into the video too, what we needed to show and what we didn't need to show as a coaching team. And those guys will deliver it, mate, Friday and Monday and Tuesday. And I watched training from last night, from yesterday morning, via the obviously the technology we've got. The boys train great, good intensity to them, and they've done the same again this morning. So yeah, all good. I've managed to speak to all the players that are going to be involved in and around our 18, 19-man squad last night, just to explain team selection and to talk about what's important for us as a team and what we can expect on Friday night. So no, all good, mate. I think speaking to our senior group too, we've asked them to assume, you know, some more responsibility about making sure the intensity and concentration and skill levels in training are of the highest standards of what they need to be this week. So, you know, they're a good bunch of guys. So no, I've no real dramas. James, obviously it's frustrating, disappointing. Found it difficult when 10 o'clock came yesterday morning. I knew the boys were on the training field. Started to feel a little bit of anxiety around that. But I'm really confident, mate, that we're in good hands.
What about match day? Where are you going to be and how are you going to stay in contact?
Well, I've just moved house, so I've got no internet and no Sky TV on at this moment in time. So I've managed to get so that could be tricky. So I've managed to get a Sky fixed up for Friday morning. Again, spoken to Sean and James about this, and spoken to Kevin. I don't want to be like a parrot on the shoulder throwing messages every 2 minutes. It's not my style anyway, and I think that would only distract them from their own concentration, what they need to have on the game. So I'll have an open mic, open over phone line with Kevin, and if we feel there's anything they need to ask or anything we need to chip in, or in and around half time, we're there ready and waiting to go. But look, take it from me, I'm not going to be sending messages every minute to get the trainer on and all this. I've got the utmost confidence and faith in two experienced, very smart football brains. So, we'll leave that to them. I'm there if they need to ask me questions, and I'm also there if I need to chip in via Kevin as well.
In terms of Longy, he's won a few playoff series in his time, hasn't he, as well? How useful is that going to be?
Well, the timing of it, I think, actually has been brilliant. I'm not talking about me getting stood down, although that might be argued different. But to be able to bring Sean in, we feel, James, that our attack has got off track a bit. I said that to you a number of weeks ago. We feel that because of the situation of not training properly, not reviewing as we normally would, not being able to fix anything up, it's been a difficult period for our attack, and we feel we needed to invest a bit and get it back on track again. So I think Sean coming in at this time to do a little bit of work with the halfbacks, to get us investing in ourselves a bit and get us back to doing what we do and what we do well, and reaffirming our principles. I think the timing of that, to be able to call in his expertise, particularly at playoff time. Obviously he's a much decorated player, a tremendous big game player. I think his input this week has given us a boost. And as I said, he's buzzing to be here. We're buzzing to have him here. And the timing of that has been good. I thought we were clinging on, James, mentally and physically as a group. I think the schedule and everything that's gone before it has left us absolutely clinging on as a team. And I think if we'd have had to play Castleford and Wigan, if we had made the playoffs, I fear for the condition we would have been in. So the fact that we were able to give the boys three or 4 days off, the fact that we've had more sessions where we can actually spend a little bit of time reviewing where we were at, looking back on what we think made us a good football team, not too long ago, and show some of the games where we've done it in parts, but not for long enough, and now we've got off track. I think that's been a really valuable period for us coming into this game, and the timing of Sean coming in has been a massive boost for us.
Just finally for me, squad-wise, where are you at? Can you, the guys that were self-isolating before, are they back in contention, and what sort of selection issues are you pondering this week?
Yeah, they're back. Yeah, not too many. Obviously, we've got a couple of injuries in and around us, big fellas. Cuthball's obviously out for the season. Tommy Allroyd's struggling with his hand. He's not had it operated on yet, for the obvious reasons of getting in for an operation at this point. So I guess Tommy's still available if we need him, but we just don't think his hand is, sufficiently right to put in the performance he needs to put in this weekend. So the team, with Alex Miller's suspension, the team is a pretty straightforward one this week. We've got a couple of decisions to make in there. Obviously, in and around fullback again with Jack and Richie, but pretty much, mate, the 18 or 19 players, it's pretty straightforward for us this week.
Just finally, sorry to throw one more in. Catalan, what are you expecting from them?
Well, I think they've got some class players. Obviously, the fact that it's been a difficult one for them in terms of getting locked down, coming out, and then I think they were due to play 4 games in 10 days, which would have made it really difficult for them. But now that's off again. They've probably not had as many games as they would have liked in this running. Nonetheless, I think what I've seen of them, their best football this year, and some of their best performance, I think they're a team that are capable of winning it. I think they've got some of the best players in the competition, some real class acts and danger men in their team, and 100%. I think they're a really strong outfit.
Good luck on Friday. I'll think of you when I'm stuck on the M62 at midnight.
Thank you. I hope my aerial works.